What's cooking? Welcome to another fascinating, riveting episode of What's Cooking right here, of course, on City TV. My name is Apiorkor. Now, what are we doing today? Something very interesting. We're going to make what many Westerners, English-speaking people would call a pottage. Now, what's a pottage? If you have your tubers, say yam, cocoyam, sweet potatoes, you have any of those things, you have your vegetables, so carrots, cabbage, you have tomatoes. The bottom line is you take these things, add some spices, and you boil it all together to make it a very thick brew, thicker than porridge, but I mean more like soup in terms of taste. And really, I'm describing what Mpotonpoto is, and that's what we're making today. Mpotonpoto, Ghana's best, or West Africa, I know that my Nigerian brothers and sisters will come for me here. West Africa's best pottage, hands down, Mpotonpoto. Now there's a special gentleman who's going to help me with my cooking today. He's my colleague. I call him Baby, and again, there are some people here at City will not be very happy knowing that I'm calling him Baby on camera, but I call him Baby. Now, I admire him a lot because he's extremely versatile. News and current affairs, he's there. Lifestyle, entertainment, social issues, he's there. And when it comes to swag, fashion sense, and flat out style, few men I know personally can compare. And he does it with all the pomp and majesty as a young prince, the true prince, real life prince that he is, will do. And when we come back, I'll introduce my guest in the What's Cooking kitchen. So let's go for a quick break, and when we return, it's Mpotonpoto. And it doesn't get any better than that. It's still, of course, What's Cooking here on City TV. My name once again is Apiorkor. I am your hostess. Now it's time to get into the cooking of this pottage that I was talking about in case you're just joining us. What I was explaining was that when you have some tubers, you have some spices, some meat, some veggies, when you boil it all together in one big pot to bring it to a nice thick consistency, bursting with taste, we call it a pottage. And that's really what Mpotonpoto is. That's really what it is. So today that's what we're making. And I did mention that there's the suavest, flyest cat in the house who's going to be cooking with me today. Nana Tuffuor Boateng. Woo!
Oh, hey,
hi,
darling.
Nana. Hey, baby.
You know, I know you're good with your intros, yeah, but I didn't see this coming. But it's welcome, though. I mean, I love it.
But I was only telling the truth. Your fashion sense,
okay, one.
You know, the kind of swag that you enter a room with.
That's two.
You capture the aura of a room.
I do that.
No, you have no idea.
God.
You have no idea. Look, there's some people, when they are watching you on TV, they are not listening to what you are saying.
Really?
I'm just letting you know. Some people.
Well, guys, you should be paying attention to what I'm saying, actually.
Some people. Well, it's good to have you here.
Well, it's great to be in this famous kitchen. Yeah.
So, we're making Mpotonpoto.
Yeah.
Now, you are very busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to get to you
Yeah.
between all the newsroom stuff you do. And from news production, news gathering, news anchoring and presenting, news casting, before Upside Down Today, and then you're emceeing gigs, and then being the wonderful husband and daddy that you are.
Right?
It's hard to get you in this kitchen. So we thought, why don't we do something that's simple, that's of our heritage, and that won't take too much time, so that you can get you out of the kitchen fast, but still taste your fingerprints.
I like that. So we're doing Mpotonpoto.
Yes, we're doing Mpotonpoto.
I heard you mentioning some big word,
pottage.
Oh Lord, that's so Western.
A pottage.
That's so Western.
Well, sometimes I like to do these things because a lot of people feel that our things that we do at home, that we were born and bred. Thank you. We're born and bred with when it comes to food. Some people think that they have no place in the international world.
Oh, they do.
But people eat these things, and sometimes you're looking for a variation, or you walk into a corner store somewhere on the streets of London or something of the sort, and you want to tell them that you're looking for some special spice to make Mpotonpoto. They don't know what that is. They say, I'm going to make a pottage. Do you have a variety of spices that I could use of the African descendancy?
So it gives them at least an idea of exactly what you...
And then also, I also think that for a long time, we've not incorporated... Yes, please, very important. We've not incorporated
if I did have some hair, then at least I'll be wearing a...
Well, you like your hair,
I know.
But I mean, what I was saying is that for the longest time, we've not incorporated the things of our language, the words that we know that describe our food and our culture best into the English language. And now we officially have Ghanaian English. It's documented as one of the new Englishes. So why can't we place Mpotonpoto in there as a kind of Ghanaian pottage? I think we've reached that point.
I think we are at that point, because most of our foods now are produced locally but consumed globally.
Exactly.
So I think we should be, perhaps just to feed into the taste of the Western world, a little bit more branding of our local foods.
Very important.
So we can get there.
Very important.
All right, so I like the fact that we're cooking in Mpotonpoto. Like you mentioned, it wouldn't take much of our time.
How do you say cocoyam in your language?
Cocoyam. That's mankini.
Mankini.
Yeah, mankini.
Okay.
Or if you go to Atapa, there's another type of cocoyam, the one we call brube. Yeah, that's a little bit sweeter.
That one is and more purple.
Exactly,
I'm guessing.
more purple than this one.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I love cocoyam. My mom is from Peki, Abitile.
Okay.
In the northern part of Volta. They are Vedomes. The group of Evers we call Vedomes.
Right.
And they do a lot of tubers because they are more, they're not so coastal like down Laws and people from Kita and those areas. Right. So they do a lot of tubers. They are farmers. So yam fufu, cocoyam fufu, these are things you have in my house. But when it comes to Mpotonpoto, again, very popular.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes we will do everything in one pot today. But a lot of the time, my mom will make the soup, cook it with love and affection before we now introduce everything else. So then we boil the yam and the cocoyam as if you are boiling it in water, but this time it's in soup, and then everything else goes in there. But today we're doing it the quick way. Sorry, mommy.
Of course, this has a lot of nutritional value as well. And I like the fact that it doesn't take much time to cook.
No. Very quick.
One pot meal, within a few minutes, you are done. And that, of course, aside its nutritional value and it's being a whole meal on its own, I think it's recommended for babies as well, for during weaning.
Yes.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense.
Because it's very smooth, like you said, very nutritious. Very nutritious, that's the word. I was going to say nutritional.
Great stuff.
Okay,
So
do you know how to peel?
We're going to peel our cocoyam. Let's see how it flips.
In fact, let me get a bowl. Hey, yeah, doing some chef skills here.
Chef Tuffuor.
I'm just getting a bowl so we can put the peels in.
All right, then.
Sometimes we even make our own tolo beef. We have that here as well. Salt it, over 2 days in anticipation of a weekend in Mpotonpoto field.
Exactly.
Something.
Yeah, I think if it has that beef flavor in it, it gives it this taste that really makes you enjoy it the more. So, we would typically go for some momone, or Kobe in there. You cut it into little chunks and then you leave it in there. Yeah, or you fry it together with the palm oil or some onions before you add it to. Yeah, it gives you that salty taste, which makes it. It's kind of heavenly when you're having it.
It is. Yay! We've arrived in life. Let me start putting them into this bowl so we can wash them off.
Okay.
Okay. But Nana, you know how to handle a knife. It's very impressive.
Oh, well, I tried.
I mean, I wasn't judging you, but I didn't expect
now I have a feeling you had your own perception.
I wasn't. No, not at all. Not at all. I've learned not to, you know.
I mean,
not just because of what's cooking, but I've come across many, I mean, even me. Everyone see me and think I don't do a thing because my nails are always looking fly, if I must say so myself.
Yeah, but if you grew up in the type of home I grew up in, you learn to know it's not all about suit and tie.
Exactly.
Exactly. There's more to life than just
my
showing
father
up.
cooks. My father cooks, and not to survive. He cooks very well. He's an accomplished cook.
Well, I cook to survive. I'm no chef or anything, but
the way you're handling the knife and the cocoyam.
Oh, let's just say I try.
The knife and the makani. This is not cooked. This is not cooked to survive matter.
Okay.
Cocoyam is fresh.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful vibes. I just throw this water away. Actually, I saw. Oh, Nana. Today, it's only people who are on set who get to see the behind the scenes Aso, who I'm always shouting for. So Aso, please. Alrighty. So you see who it is.
Maybe one day Aso should be in front of the camera.
One day Aso will do the cooking because she's also a very good cook. She's also a very good cook.
All right, so we'll cut them into smaller chunks.
Chunks. Okay, so we've cleaned up our workstation. Yeah. Cocoyam is nicely chopped, peeled into small bits. Yeah. I'm just going to pour this water out, like doing a final wash kind of thing. Right, Nana?
Yeah.
Are we on track?
We are on track.
We're not on track?
Yeah, we are on track. Yeah. So, we just pour this water off it.
You want to do the patois for me?
Oh, you want me to lengua a little bit?
Yes.
All right, so it's a cocoyam thing, you hear me?
Love it.
Yeah, man. The can done. Let me just drop this here.
Okay, so now we need some fresh water.
Fresh water. Here comes fresh water. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Cover that up.
Pour some water upon it.
So now it's time to cook the cocoyam. So, for our viewers, let me just say that what we're doing now is sort of like cooking a soup with cocoyam in it from the beginning. Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah. So we're going to put in some salt. Okay. And that should be enough.
Yeah.
We need to have some good tea. We don't have any, well, there's cholo beef here.
There's cholo beef,
we've washed it a lot, so it doesn't have so much salt
flavor in
yes.
there. Right.
And I'm not going to, maybe so that it will cook fast. I'll just cut our tomatoes in half and toss them in there.
Just toss it in there.
Yes. There's typically tomatoes in your soup, right? At least in your light soup.
Put everything in there.
Yeah. That's why it's called a pottage.
So it boils together.
Yeah. You know, for all you, in Mpotonpoto.
Yeah.
For all you know, the word pottage came from Shegun Potogumo.
Possibly.
I refuse to believe that it has anything to do with the word pot.
No, I don't think so. Because other than that, then there will be a literal translation in poto.
You understand. So then we've got some Scotch bonnet peppers here. Not new to this show. It's like the local peppers that we find on our markets these days. And I must say that's different from paposhito. Lots of people think that this is paposhito. No, it's not. And there was a time when you'd struggle to find these in our local markets. You'd see ojingma, the
yellowish ones.
Yes, you'd see, of course, paposhito akwelewabi, which is the long chili peppers. But these not so much. Now these are the most common. And there are red ones too. But they are called Scotch bonnet peppers in English. Scotch bonnet peppers.
Right.
And the paposhito are called petit bells. Basically meaning little bells.
Right.
Or little bell
We wouldn't know this. We just step in the market and ask for the bigger ones.
Yes.
Charlie, give me the big pepper.
I'm saying this for our brethren and our sisters who go and shop in supermarkets or who live in other parts of the world. If you know, you know.
So it's what? Scotch
bonnet peppers. Yes.
Okay.
And if it's paposhito, petit bell.
Petit, okay, that's in French.
Yes, so
little,
small bell.
Small.
So the small version of maybe a green pepper or a sweet red or yellow pepper. Okay, so I'm going to just crush it in a little. Okay.
A petit belle.
Yeah.
That's the bakushito.
Yep, petit belle.
Petit belle is like what? Little pretty. In French.
Oh, well, I mean, you can think of it that way. Yes, you can think of it that way.
Okay.
But basically, what it is just small bell.
Small bell.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just crushing them in, and what will happen is, after the mixture and everything has cooked on fire for some time, we'll take the peppers and the tomatoes out, and we'll pot it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, Nana, you understand it. Okay, do you like a lot of pepper?
I am more of a pepper person, so I was actually going to ask you if this will be enough.
Yes, don't worry. I'm adding for your sake.
Nice.
I'm not much of a pepper person.
Oh, okay.
But I'm very accommodating for my guests.
Aren't you a darling?
And the red peppers are typically hotter
than
the green peppers.
ones.
You need a little bit more of
A
this.
little bit more salt in there.
Yes, and then the onions. So we've got these big, beautiful. They're called red onions, but they're really purple or mauve or violet or whatever you want to call them.
I've always stayed away from onions because I think they don't like me.
Oh, then please.
No matter how far I stand away from it, I'm going to cry.
Just move over this.
Yeah, but since we're not chopping it in little bits, I think it will be fine.
Yeah. Just big chunks. Because we're going to grind all of this.
Yeah, after they come to a boil,
very
right?
important.
Nice.
You don't want it to be too small. Now, I'm just going to use half of this one. It's really big.
That's the big mama.
Yes, the big mama. Big mama, man.
Yeah.
The reason we're using a lot of onions is, as you've realized on this show, most of the guests who come through, and then when we are doing the cooking ourselves, we don't like to use spices that are artificial.
Right.
A lot of the time. As much as possible, you want to play around with natural flavors, things that you can pick up in your pantry, from the corner store, or your local market. So
I think
that's the
good.
idea here.
Yeah.
But we have enough onions.
Natural is beautiful.
Absolutely. Always. Like
Natural
my hair.
tastes better.
Like my hair.
I'm actually going to talk about your hair, but let's finish cooking.
Nana.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's a standing debate about my hair?
Ooh. Definitely, if I step in that debate, I'm winning. So
the wonderful people who have been watching, they've been debating about whether or not my hair is real.
Really?
Yes, or whether I just have a wig sitting on top of my head, a bright red wig.
Wow,
Yeah,
maybe
so
one day we should have a show on your hair.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah, that's
we should just have a show on your hair.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So I will let my hair out and everybody can see for themselves.
Trust me, this is all hairs.
Every
It is
inch.
her hair. Yeah. I actually look out for red hair if I want to find out a piece in the office. So, yeah.
As many people in the city do. Okay.
Yeah, but it's all natural. It's beautiful as well. So,
Thank you, Nana.
One day you should see her let it all down, like here, like that.
So people have been debating. Pow.
Oh no, come on.
Even Samuel has come to ask you one and they said, look, Charlie, the people know, they've been asking me, is the hair real?
Oh, even me with no hair, I know real hair when I see it. Come on. People.
I don't blame people. But no, because since we're doing a very rootsy, heritage-filled meal, a lot of the time we've also believed that for very long that African hair doesn't grow. Doesn't grow long, doesn't grow
so
thick.
to say, but I mean, we've seen pictures and videos of our mothers, our grandmothers with long hair. Yeah.
But when your hair is especially natural, I mean, of course, we have natural brilliance. But
so what we just did is toss a few
some garlic,
garlic
and
then ginger.
Yes.
All right.
And then this is a shrimp cube.
Okay.
Just a brilliant cube. I'm going to put one in there.
That's
and
for
then
seasoning.
we'll add, absolutely, some herrings, dried herrings.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm just going to break
going to break them in there. Awesome.
You don't want this is not the kind of meal where, yes, you should have something to chew small because we are not babies.
Yeah.
And this is not the kind of Mpotonpoto for baby food.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you don't want what you're eating to be interrupted by some massive chunk and now you have to be doing gregre and things. No. And then tolo beef.
Yeah, almighty tolo.
Should we cut it up smaller?
Yeah, maybe in smaller chunks. So it's not like we've necessarily put in the beef there, but yeah, at least beef will bring its own spice, and then of course something to munch on. while you enjoy your
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the meat from it and put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll also cook it with the bones.
Okay.
So that the bones also bring out some flavor. And then when it's almost done, we can just scoop the bones out. Nice. Maybe use them for a broth later or something.
Great stuff, great stuff.
There are actually some recipes that I've actually written down.
Okay.
So I found my own quantities. Okay, if I know I'm cooking for 2 people or 4 people, I'm doing maybe 1 cup, of 1 liter, 1 this, 1 that, 1 teaspoon. Nice. Yes. I've actually done that, especially when it comes to baking, because I bake as well.
Okay, great. Right.
And that's something that my mother taught us. She was cooking professionally, catering professionally at a point.
Right. So for me, that's always been the challenge. Say I'm preparing a meal for 5. How much of this? How many liters of that? How many spoons of this or that?
Tricky.
Yeah. But if I'm cooking for myself, of course, I know to maybe do some half-cup rice or,
I understand you.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so here we are.
Nice.
And now we go.
So we're going to the fireplace now.
That's all. Please, I need the cover for the medium-sized pots.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So we're just going to get the lid and then we'll cover that.
And then one last thing I'm going to do. We've got these spices here. A spice brand that's closely associated with what's cooking. Just going to pour 1 sachet in there.
Okay, so that's what Sankofa natural spice.
Yes, and what I love about Sankofa is that all the natural things we're talking about, they've just sort of found a way of
all right, so we'll just stir it a little bit.
Dehydrating them.
Okay.
So
they keep it in a dry state.
Yes.
Right.
So that's easy to package.
No additives, no preservatives.
Just
adding
natural to the convenience of modern life.
Wow.
But keeping the heritage goodness in there.
Of course, we all want a soft life. So
hey, it's very necessary. Okay, there we go. So now we wait.
Of course.
Wait for it to boil.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go for a break. When we come back, hopefully our cocoyam, our amankani, our amakani, whatever you call it in your language.
Mankani cocoa.
You understand? Hopefully it would have softened up enough, and then our veggies, the tomatoes, the peppers, the onions will also be soft enough for us to do some hardcore apotoriwa sanka grinding kind of things. We'll be right back. This is What's Cooking on City TV. Welcome back. We're still cooking up a raging Hamatan storm here on What's Cooking, and I'm here of course with Nana Tuffuor Boateng. We call him the Tooth Man.
Yay.
Yeah, Swagalicious Tooth, my baby in the city. And we're making Mpotonpoto. Like what I said, some people will call a pottage. It's a cocoyam pottage, and a mankani pottage, and a makani pottage, a cocoyam pottage. We've been boiling our cocoyam, our dried herrings, our tolo beef, which is basically salted pieces of beef. But those of you who haven't been initiated into the tolo beef culture, that's what it is. We have some tomatoes in here as well. Like I said, red onions, green peppers, our local green peppers. There's some red ones too, what we call Scotch bonnet peppers. When you go to the market, it is meko, it is shito. Just pick some, buy. And then we put in some of our dried packaged natural spices as well. And then a bit of shrimp, bouillon cubes, some salt too. And we did say that if you're the type who likes your things to be very thick, you want to play around with some tomato paste, you could do that. But we're not doing tomato paste today. So now that everything has boiled together.
I'm loving the aroma.
Charlie, there's also something that my mom makes a lot. We call it echimenukwe.
What's that?
So basically, so you can again do the cocoyam, do the sweet potato, do yam,
Yes.
puna, or even water yam. Because once you're doing anything with soup, yes, water yam works. And you make your soup, and towards the let's say when the soup is about 3/4 way done, you put small pieces of your yam, cocoyam, whatever tuber it is in there. And then you don't mash it. You just have the big chunks in there, and you drink your soup through a bit. Charlie, it's also another level of awesomeness.
That's nice.
But today we're doing Mpotonpoto.
All right.
So
Nana, we're going to take our veggies
you.
out.
Yes. I put the asanka
on the fire.
What do you call it?
The ayuwa, apotoyowa.
Apotoyowa. Okay. So some would say asanka, some would say apotoyowa. Where my mother comes from, would say agba. The Gans would say kan. You know, but it's an earthenware bowl, asanka, whatever it is. So we're just putting our tomatoes and peppers in here, and onions as well. Now they are very soft. Okay, so we've got almost everything.
Everything out.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so I think I can start mashing.
Okay.
At least the
so
big
I'm just going to move my asanka, my ayowa.
Shall I give you a kitchen stool, or you?
Oh, I think I can manage this standing. Yeah. So guys, I'm just going to dig in with my tapuli. Yeah.
And that's Jaya skills. So Nana, I'm going to do something a little interesting.
Right.
Once you've grinded all this goodness together, after a while, we'll add a little bit of the palm oil, red oil, zomi, whatever you call it. Oops, it's dripping. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit of it in here now. Yeah, just a little. What it's going to do, because you know when it comes to Mpotonpoto, the palm oil is also a big part of the taste experience.
Right.
So what it's going to do is, while we're waiting for the cocoyam, the mankani, to get to the level of softness, tenderness that we really want it to be, as well as the tolo beef and the herrings, it will just soak in some of that flavor. Yeah. So similar thing, and if you're doing abomu or any of these other meals, you would typically start putting the palm oil on fire, adding some onions, some momoni or whatever it is to flavor it. It's a similar concept here. So that's what we're doing. Just a little. Nice. Just a little. Okay. So I'm going to cover it. So by the time you're done grinding, then we add a bit of the palm oil to that. Yeah. And then it goes back in as a whole new different spice. Right. Yeah, well, you got some grinding skills.
Oh, you see?
Yeah.
I think there
skills.
You see,
Okay, so what does that mean?
Basically, if you get the best of everything, depending on how close you are to your mom. Yeah.
Well, it's the truth. Mothers are awesome.
Yeah, so
I know I am.
I mean, in a typical can home when your mom is cooking and you're sitting by her, if it's some dry fish, she breaks a little and passes it on.
Yeah.
When it's fufu, we are yet to pound. If it's the cassava, she picks something and then she passes it on to you.
That's very true.
But then if you are the kid who is always
on the same time, when you're always with her, and she realizes that, Charlie, you need some new shoes, she will buy for you.
Exactly.
When she has some small change, she'll give it to you to go and buy a lewa or cocoa powder.
That's the whole thing.
Or toffee, whatever. Yeah. You're very right. It's true. It's true. You're always on the football pitch.
But if you're away from home, always playing on the park, I mean.
You miss out.
And
we'll be talking a little bit more about this when we sit down to eat Mpotonpoto. What I would like to discuss with you, because I know you have also grown up in the royal setting.
Right.
You know, royal Akan setting. Yeah. So you understand heritage. You understand the traditions that we carry as a people, at least where you come from. Right. You understand those. Right. And then on a bigger scale, a more macro scale for Ghana, you do have a very deep understanding of the things that make us who we are, traditionally and culturally.
That's true.
And I would like to discuss with you, and like I said, we'll do that later.
Sure.
Whether you feel that we're losing that, and whether our children are at risk of not getting, like you said, being close to your mother. These days, you don't even have time to cook.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
We do fast track cooking, you know, and our children losing out, and you're a father yourself. So I'm curious to know how you are also trying to make sure that the lineage, is preserved.
Sure.
Okay.
Great
you
stuff.
think we're good?
Depending on how fine or how smooth you want it. But
if you wanted it super smooth, then you would have used a blender. We are not blenders. Well,
I see that you what gives it this feel. I mean,
well, we're blenders, but we're not blenders. You get the pan there.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I think we're great now. Yeah.
You're brilliant.
All right.
You know how to Mpotonpoto.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Spoons.
Right.
There we go.
So
Nice.
we're just going to toss
just
it all in there.
This bit, and then we'll add a little bit of the palm oil.
Palm oil to this, right.
And just a tiny bit. So I'm going to mix it in there. Thank you. Palm oil is pouring all over the place. Anyway. It is a Ghanaian kitchen. Okay.
And you know, this could actually serve as a sauce on its own.
Completely.
Yeah.
This can be...
Grind your pepper.
Some...
with your tomatoes and your onions
boiled
in there.
Yam,
exactly.
Even rice if you wanted. Yeah. Some banku kenke.
Exactly. Or some
eba. Yeah. And there are pieces of herrings
in there. Lovely. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think even a bit of the tolo beef got lucky.
And they are swimming in there.
Okay.
I'm just playing nice because we're on TV.
So go back in there. Okay. There we go. Smells divine already.
Yeah.
So what we've just done is we've created a whole new spice vibe.
Yeah.
With the veggies and the peppers that have been grinded along with the palm oil. You know. So it's almost like grinding or blending your onions and your tomatoes and your garlic from scratch. And then putting it in there. Right. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. The cocoyam is almost there.
Yeah.
Almost there. So I'm just going to let us cover it for maybe another 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
And then we can start mashing it up.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so Nana, it's time to do some mashing. We've done a bit already, and I'm going to change spoons.
Okay.
So this one is flat, more paddle-like.
Yeah.
So you can just, now that the cocoyam is very soft,
you can just mash it
that?
in there.
Yeah.
Nice,
And just mash it at the side. So we're doing now.
I simply can't wait to taste this.
You can have a taste. Look at the tolo beef.
Oh my.
It's just like, look
like
at
a
the
boss.
herring. Oh my
like
Lord.
a boss, just swimming in there.
Ooh, and me too, I'm hungry.
I know, right?
This is dinner. But this is a really filling meal. It's hearty.
Yeah.
But it's healthy.
Healthy as well,
Yeah. Well, they say when you say hearty, it also means it's good for your heart. So. Just putting it all in there.
Nice.
And nice and thick. And now that's not covered, all the starch and the mankani is also sort of coming together, just unifying everything.
Oh, this looks good. So we're just mashing the cocoyam in there.
Almost like making bangu.
Yeah. It's like you need to do a little bit more driving with bangu than this.
Completely.
Looking really good.
All we need is for it to dry out a bit. Still some cocoyam chunks in there.
Yeah. So most of it you mash it, or sometimes you just leave a few chunks in there. You understand?
No. Okay, so Nana, since we've got most of the cocoyam in there, key ingredients.
The palm oil.
This thing, this oil.
It works magic.
It's divine.
Yeah, it works magic.
God knew what he was doing when he introduced it into our lives. I'm going to pour it in there, stir, pour, stir. And for me, you know the grits, the fiber at the bottom of it all. Yeah.
That's the super ingredient.
I tell you. Nice. And for me, because my eyesight is not that bad, you know, a lot of people don't realize I actually wear glasses, and my prescription is -3.25 because I'm wearing contacts. And my contacts are clear, they are not colored, you know. So it's a great excuse to eat palm oil because it's rich in vitamin A. And
I think there's just something about palm itself.
The whole thing.
The other day on Upside Down, the guy brought palm wine and he wanted to convince me that palm wine helps in hair growth.
Hey!
I don't know if he was trying to shade me.
Let me go outside. Don't shout into the hey.
You should go back and see the episode. Guy is telling me that palm wine. I didn't hear
that part.
Charlie, guy says it helps in hair growth. So, well, maybe the oil is for the eye and the wine is for the hair.
For the hair.
Yeah.
But Nana, I mean, since we're just about done, let's go for a break.
Okay.
It's still What's Cooking right here on City TV. We're making our magical Mpotonpoto almighty. And when we come back, it will be time to eat it. Welcome back. This is What's Cooking, and now it's time to eat the food that we've labored over, slaved over with love.
Yeah.
You know, they say that when you're talking about food, you shouldn't say you sweat over the food. Otherwise, Charlie, we'll say that the sweat entered the food.
Yeah.
No, so we labored and we loved. But good, and you're very, very, very welcome, viewers. And for those of you who are just tuning in, we've been making Mpotonpoto. What we did was we used cocoyam, which is very popular, very easy to find here in Ghana, in Accra, even in our markets. Others may use or choose to use sweet potatoes, yam, so puna, water yam as we call them in our local parlance. But for those of you who don't know what Mpotonpoto is, it's a kind of pottage, as I explained. Beautiful English word for Mpotonpoto, Impotwe. You know, so that's what we're eating. And Nana Tuffuor Boateng, the swag master, joined me in the kitchen. He was very, very helpful.
Yeah.
But it's also time to introduce into the fray my celebrity counsel. And I know he's probably like insulting me in his head for calling him that on camera. But that's what we call him. The Selim Adonu Esquire.
Yeah.
Hi, Selim.
Hi. Apiorkor and
from time to time you do see Selim on City TV. He pops up on A Question of Law with David Kwekusechi from time to time. Other earlier days of City TV, you'd see him on What the Papers Are Saying with Vivian Kai Loco. If you listen to 97.3 City FM, you probably hear him on Eyewitness News every now and then, or whenever there's a legal conversation, you'd hear that. So, hi. Good
Hi,
to see you.
it's a pleasure to be here. In fact, I think we were earlier discussing that you guys have a lot of fun on set.
Yeah.
I think we should be coming here more often.
You should. You are very welcome. We want to come and add to our celebrity.
I think by now
stature.
you've learned that I cooked 80% of this, right?
Oh,
The contrary.
I'm not going to argue.
So enjoy it.
All right, I'm enjoying it. I think it actually tastes nice.
Eat as much as you can.
It's been a long time I actually ate Mpotonpoto, so this is bringing some good memories, you know. We used to eat a lot of these when we were in primary school, you know, after school you came home and your parents or your mother prepared this and you actually enjoyed it. So I think it's taking me back to those days. So thanks so much, Nana Tuffuor and Apiorkor for making this.
You can call me Chef Tooth if you like.
Okay. So now let's get into our conversation. So earlier, Nana and I'm very glad that you started, you introduced yourself, your voice, into this mix with a story, with a memory, with something that you remember from when you were very young. Because we've been talking about the fact that people like us who are sitting here at this table, we didn't necessarily grow up in our hometowns or in the villages that we originate from or that our parents may have been familiar with. A lot of us grew up, we're schooled, we work in contemporary Ghanaian environments. But somehow we've managed to imbibe the heritage and the culture that lives within
What's cooking?
What just happened?
Wow. This looks more like some type of pudding that I'm familiar with the avocado.
Is it an intruder? A trespasser.
You mentioned one guest.
Maybe the law can define that one for me.
Well, I invited only one guest.
Yes.
But this is my neighbor.
Oh, your neighbor?
Yes, we call him the Taster General.
Okay.
Please,
For one reason.
Okay.
you can move your. Let me grab a seat for myself.
Now you're sucking me from my, this is where
own
we
dinner table.
See, so he doesn't show up when we are cooking, he doesn't show up.
It shows up when everything is done.
Charlie,
Just-
I
doesn't offer any
not
help at
even
all.
when we are plating the food, when we have started eating, that's when he pops up.
Maybe I
So-
can sit by the lawyer, so I can learn more.
Well, basically, you're telling me I'll let you here.
No. Then I can learn some law. But
Let me
where's
move
my
a bit. So-
Asankaros?
So who serves him? He serves himself or?
No worries.
Sometimes he does.
The GPS shown me
See, we are
where
talking
to
about
find
heritage,
everything. You know what I'm
and they taught me to be hospitable.
You know?
So let me not disgrace my parents.
Your parents.
And go and get
Yes,
the food.
but while I drink my
Your
good
good
day.
day. Oh, nice.
Yes.
So what do you have in there?
Oh, that's a nice
Hey.
accoutrement for grading whoever cooks.
So you always come prepared.
Yes.
You have the complete set because you're not sure
Yes.
what's cooking.
Yes. Whether it's
Wow.
soupy, whether it's, need all
Whether
of
it's soupy
that.
or choppy.
Yes.
Maybe I should find myself a neighbor that cooks every day, so I can also be storming.
So you also become a taster
I can
general.
also become a taster general because now I think I envy your position.
But this is really nice, I tell you. And it's quite spicy too. You know, sometimes I like my food spicy.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I don't have
it's
any
not like-
pair for you.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's not.
But I didn't know you were coming.
I can give you some of
Yes,
mine.
yes. I'll take one of each, and it will help in my grading.
I don't know that to me.
You know the story about Kukwa Nancy and his children?
Yes.
Kukwa Nancy prepared food, shared it for the children, and then he started crying. And they all asked, why are you crying? He said, because I didn't get some of the food.
Exactly.
So they all gave him half of
A bit
theirs.
of theirs.
In the end, he had more than all of
more
them.
than
you know.
everyone.
So
I
that's exactly what he's
don't even
done.
know that I should be offended or.
No,
Exactly what he's done.
I still have only 3. You still have 4.
I have 2.
You know,
we have
there's
3.
a story. Unfortunately, I don't know how to tell the story in any of our local languages, but the westernized version, the little red hen. So the little red hen always bakes bread, and she gets her chicks to help, but she has friends. There's cat, dog, cow, all these interesting animals.
Right.
And they never even, so this one, oh, who will help me bake the bread? Not I, said the cats. Not I, said the all of them. Sarah, who will help me go and bring the wheat? Not I, not I. After the bread is who will help me eat the bread?
Everybody
I will.
counts.
That is the
Everybody
taster
counts.
general behavior.
Maybe he's just good with timing.
Is it nice? Don't mark it yet. Okay, by the way, so we're having this conversation about heritage and traditions and just basically contemporary times and whether we are really at risk of not knowing what came before us and the lineage that we carry, be it with our names, just the blood that flows through our veins, right? So, for example, I've been speaking to a lot of young men, women who are Ghans. Now, when I was growing up, I knew that one of the Ghan staples is ripe plantain. From ripe plantain, you get kilewele, you get tatale, you get kaklo, you get abolongo, you get ashanku, all these things. And then even plantain, a toy, if you want to mash it, we have those ones. You can boil the plantain and eat it with the camu flour, right? So camu flour is basically what you would call abomu.
Okay.
Yes. But we eat it in here. We cook it in here. Even in some cases, you make we actually cook it in the ka, as the Ghans call it, in the sanka, on top of the fire. But now when you talk to them, you don't even know the difference between kaklo and tatale. Like some have never even seen it before. They have no idea what abolongo is. Abolongo is our version of ofam. Okay. Yes, and ashanku is similar to that, but that one is steamed in plantain leaves.
Okay.
Yes. So just even using that as an example, food that we even like, we seem to be lost. So what's your take on this? I'll start with you, Salah.
Well, I think it's a real concern if you ask me, and it's true the way you've laid it out. A lot of it, I think, is coming from the lack of, should I say, belief in our culture and our systems. So, for example, if you went to school and you said you brought kinky and fish, and somebody said he brought fried rice and chicken, the person who says he brought fried rice and chicken is seen in a certain positive light compared to the one compared to the person who brought kinky and fish. Meanwhile, kinky and fish is supposed to be our food. If the person's a Ghana, that should be the staple, the person's food. So, because of that, and because of a certain thinking of wanting to belong to that, as you call it, jet class of people, I think we've all shied away from certain kinds of food. It may not be the only reason, but I think it's a critical part of it, not having so much belief in our system. And I think the media has also been part of that. The media, generally, what we consume, I mean, the movies we watch, the kinds of things we see. So when you watch even certain local movies, the very rich families, the kinds of food they eat, those foods are hardly local.
English breakfast.
Because they want to portray a certain picture. You hardly see Hausa cocoa and ego. You see English breakfast, English tea,
etc. The poor man in that movie will buy Hausa cocoa.
So all these, I think, having added positively to our heritage or who we are. But I think the good news really is that, I mean, we have media houses like CTFM, etc., who are trying to help us, retrace, that path. And I think it's a great thing. So here we are, enjoying this around the table with all these surroundings.
On primetime TV with a lady who has red hair.
I know, right?
And a lot of beads around the neck,
And a Twister General in bow tie.
I know, right?
So I think the Twister General needs a deliverance.
Me?
Yes.
Twister General needs a deliverance.
You look like Akwete police.
What does the law say about
not Akwete police, the elderly people watching us.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, really.
Okay.
But
because what you're saying that in the movies, you see, you watch other movie sets and they still portray what is tradition.
It's true.
So if the setting is even to portray a rich family, if you want to project your own, you still make it part of the breakfast or
what? So the question is, what sells?
What's preventing us from doing that?
So I think we need a general, should I say, rethinking around.
I don't think it's
mind.
what sells. It's making a deliberate attempt to promote ours.
Yes. So sometimes that can happen, spontaneously. Other times, the policy must drive that.
Exactly.
So, for example, if there's a deliberate policy that, let's say, in all your hotels, make sure you cook local rice, or make sure that what you cook, I mean, maybe if it's rice, the rice must be local. If it is maybe potatoes, they must be local, and things like that. That will cause a certain reawakening, and it will force people to do the right thing, and that will create jobs.
Because that's what happens in Rwanda, for example. I mean, you go there at least thrice a week. If you're to enter the poshest of restaurants or hotels, I mean, compare them to whatever you think is posh here in Ghana. You enter those spaces, you have no choice. So there's nothing like a continental option.
Exactly.
We are eating traditional Rwandan food. All they will do though is make sure that on the menu there are those that are a little relatable across the world. So if it's rice, there's a rice dish. It's Rwandan, traditional, but at least rice is familiar, and we can anybody from around the world for the most part can relate to the taste. You know, same with the drinks even. You know, and then they are well labeled, well plated.
So you're able to tell just by sight what exactly it is that is being
and
said.
the chefs are typically standing there, so you can even ask them questions. And that's not something that I've heard, or it's something I've experienced. And, you know, but there's that. But Tuffuor, let me come to you. You, as Salome is a father. Tisa General is a father too. Only
a senior father.
A senior father,
What are you talking about?
We're talking about fatherhood.
Seniority in fatherhood.
But what are some of the things? Salome has very beautifully painted some of the problems that are causing what we are describing. The things, I mean, children will go to school and come home. And they feel as though...
They actually come with complaints.
Yes. Well, they laughed at me because...
You gave me this to take to school and my friends laughed at me because this person brought that.
And no parent wants that for their child. Because it's a road to bullying. And that's the first thing that the parents think.
It affects confidence.
Exactly. The child will then become timid.
Absolutely. So for you, and you who has even come from a royal home, you know, how are you, you know, sort of working around
spelled it out correctly, but that's at the national level. Policies should drive some of these things, although they can be spontaneous at times. But at the family level, that's where the deliberate attempt comes in. If we're not careful, we'll get to a point that you meet a relative in town, someone you're related to by blood, and will not even know the person because they grew up in a different side of town. And that is where we are driving at now. We're staying in the big cities, and we don't go home. We don't go to our villages. We don't go to our hometowns. So you might have an auntie or a cousin, and you've never met the person. You probably hear their name somewhere, but you've never met the person. And that's on one side. When we were growing up, although I grew up in Tema, but vacations, weekends, midterms, you are taken back to the village because you need to learn certain things that you can't learn in Tema. Everyone is suited and tie in Tema, almost everyone. So there's not much of our culture or heritage being displayed on the regular. You get it? So maybe during vacations and all that, take the kids back home. They'll see some of these games we used to play as children. They'll even learn proper language. You understand? Because from where I come, if you go to my village now, it's a royal house. So you don't just wake up and then you greet. Yes. And greet with your hand in your pocket. Or, I mean, there's urbanization, there's education and everything. But culture is culture. Heritage is heritage. If you go back home, it's free. You don't need to pay for it. I mean, your grandma is sitting there chewing her steak, brushing her teeth. She says, you come now, let's say, I don't pay what did it. You are learning something just from those two questions she has asked you. Politeness, discipline. It's something she has done all over the years. But kids of today will see you and pass, won't even know to greet. Don't even know how to say please. They demand, they don't request. But if you go to the village setting, you get all this on the regular, and it's for free. So I think we should be making attempts to take our children back home, at least introduce them to the rest of the family, learn some of these things, the do's and don'ts with regards to our culture, our heritage, and even the foods we eat. Take them to the farms. Listen, it's beautiful when you're farming and eating on the farm.
True.
You cook the food on the farm and eat on the farm.
Experience.
I'll tell you a story. One time, my dad served Lipton in the forest in Enyinem.
Just so that you understand that we can eat in the farm.
When you name the thick of the forest, and this man wants to serve Lipton. He wants to drink tea.
Now people are also wary of bad people, good people.
The downsides of urbanization.
Exactly. You know, at least in the communal system, at least in your hometown, your village, you knew who was it. Like, I know my neighbor.
You know,
some people don't know who their neighbors
yes,
are.
That's true.
They've never even seen them before. You leave home early, get home late. You don't even get to say good morning. I saw somebody drop this at your gate. You know, you don't see that.
So
in this case, they said General was a good neighbor.
So he
keeps an eye on you and your phone.
How many cars do you board to your hometown?
Oh, from here?
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
2.
Because I would take a 1 hour walk and I mean,
like a Benz.
You actually live in your hometown.
Like a Benz.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine would be maximum 45 minutes.
Omo is dear to our hearts.
Exactly.
That's where we do the communal thing. They cook for everyone.
Yeah.
You bring your bowl, bring your drinks, like coming home. Yes. So that's where we fraternize.
So like I'm saying, we need to engage in some of these stuff, the festivals.
Sure.
I mean, maybe there's a swearing in of a chief or something. Take them there, the coronation. Don't learn 1 or 2 customs or traditions
important.
here and there.
And maybe it's easier for us as Ghanaians to do that because we live.
You are close to home.
Our home is actually in the big city.
Yeah.
But anyway, unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you, gentlemen, for your very wise words, and I do hope that's given people, our viewers, of course, who are part of us always, a sense of responsibility and some food for thought. But Taster General, your verdict.
No, sometimes you should leave me more to consume to understand.
So you've actually finished the food.
Every ingredient in it.
That's a verdict right there.
Yes.
Is that good? He's finished.
I like the tolobifi in it.
Yeah.
Yes, I found it somewhere.
Yeah.
And the dried fish.
The herrings.
The hair or
Herrings.
cheese. Okay. Herrings, shearings. Yes, tastes good. So this one, the English version is what?
It's a pottage. It's a cocoyam pottage.
Calm down.
No, because it's like pudding.
Oh, yeah, cocoyam pottage.
Yeah, pottage.
Thank you. And thank you very much to Good Day Energy Drink.
Yes, my good
I mean, when you're cooking and not energized, if you don't take care, you fall asleep halfway through and the food will be yum. But Good Day keeps us going. Salam Adonu, Celebrity Council, of course, part of the City family every day, any day. Thank you for coming through and for sharing your thoughts with us. And Nana, thank you for holding it down in the kitchen with me.
You know, I got you, baby.
Yeah, you've got mad kitchen skills.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
Number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for today. Thank you so much. This has been What's Cooking. My name is Apiorkor. We'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye-bye.